Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to introduce two friends, colleagues from Iran, Pupak Azimpor Tabrizi and Zore Belruzinia. Both of them are well acclaimed. They teach, they practice at the University of Tehran and the Faculty of Fine Arts. And puppeteer and Pupak is a researcher who has possibly the first intensive sort of research book on puppet theater and dolls of Iran. Many of us don't know that much about festivals and performances in Iran. In the World Puppet Body, which is UNIMA, Union International de la Marionnette, and the National Center of Iran has the largest number of puppeteers in the world. Because the World Puppet Body has about 81 centers, and the Iranian center is the largest one, and people outside don't realize this. Two universities and a dramatic arts center teach puppet theater have courses in puppetry. So it's very interesting. Today I wouldn't come between you all, but she has a very special lectern on this special style of puppet theater, which is a ritual style and which fits into our broader Everlasting Flame program and is supported by Parzor and the India International Center. So big hand, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so grateful to being here, and first of all, I would like to give my special thanks to Dr. Kama and dear Mr. Dadi Pudamji for their invitation us to come and introduce one of the most famous and very ancient spring ritual in Iran. It's called Heralds of the Spring with Goat Dancing. Spring is a symbol of life and regeneration in many civilizations and cultures. That's why most civilizations and cultures welcome spring as the origin of life. Teke is the name of a puppet which announces the coming of spring. This puppet is made in the shape and figure of a male goat. In this way, the name Teke is a meaningful name, and basically the word tekam is from the Turkish word teke with the possessive suffix m and means my billy goat. The Teke leader of the flock and also the herald of spring are associated with a single meaning in the two relations of objective event and allegorical event which the ceremonial puppet of the whirling teke is depend upon. The real aspect in the meaning of teke sums up the background of the allegorical associations surrounding the beginning of the showings of the whirling teke. This is because that same male goat which takes the herd to specific destination to pasture and knows the way, at the end of the winter or the beginning of spring turns up to indicate the time of spring, and this too is a kind of leading and a singing of Nowruz, the New Year. Teke, in its real meaning, crosses through spaces and is the subject making known the earth's growth and turning green. The turning of meanings and the translation through space of the teke in the art of the puppet show and the ceremonial puppet show is a product with a quality of time also, which is the allegory of spring as passage from the cold and dry to the green and joyful. Teke in Azeri language means billy goat. Just as has been indicated, the word tekam, teke plus m, means my male goat and refers to the teke belonging to the individual that whirls the teke, who is called the tekechi or teke puppeteer. Tekechi brings the teke into movement and play. The teke is not calm for a moment in the hands of the puppeteer and constantly is moving around in the two horizontal and vertical directions, as well as in a circle, which can be allegory of the circling of the days and evaluations of the wheel of the fortune. The responsibility of the tekechi is whirling the teke, and the teke, based on the matrix of movement that the tekechi provides, obtains a dramatic life and expresses the contents of the material and spiritual needs of the society. There is a relation between the teke and tekechi following the first relation of meaning, that is, the leadership of the teke in the real world, along with its leadership in the ceremonial show as the first being which senses spring and announces its coming to everybody, which is the second relation of meaning. Who are tekechis? About the appearance of the tekechis, there still is no clear theory. However, witnesses have attained that they are the reminders of the sayachis. The sayachis, since are themselves perhaps a branch of ancient gosans, the tekechi and the sayachis too give news of the spring, and they too receive a payment from the inhabitants of the town. Their ceremony is completely comparable with those of the Achaemenian period. In the pictures, you can see the tekechi with his teke, and in the nearby the spring, they go village by village, and singing, dancing, and praise for the people, and have a good luck for the people. The song of praise of the saya or the sayachis are kept, protected, and transmitted orally from generation to generation. In the writings and the research studies accomplished, the sayachis were well respected and praised by people who had no fixed place of residence and usually lived among the mountain dwellers or villagers, and at the end of winter and beginning of spring, they would go door to door for the residents of each house and their animals. They would wish health and abundance. The tribal life of the people of Azerbaijan was tied in with farming and animal husbandry. The sayachis, paying attention to this fact, sang their songs concerning of the praise of the sheep and cow and goat, as well as poems about the shepherds. These very simple and following and filled with the descriptions of sheep, goats, and lambs with their particularities and beneficial aspects, and even their physical appearance is visualized with great affection, sincerity. This is an example of one of the sayachis song. I have seen houses with sheep, which are similar to bountiful summers. I have seen house without sheep, be similar to dried reverberates. There is a sheep going this way. There is a sheep going that way, going to decorate the hills and mountains, coming home to decorate the homes. My dear black sheep, your wool is like a piece of steel. In spring, it tastes of soured milk. In autumn, your fertilizer is beneficial. In winter, your minced meat is good. Teke, signifying the male goat, has a multitude of symbolic concept in addition to its general meaning referring to the animal with its known characteristics. The goat in ancient manuscripts and Indian and European languages is referred to with the specific symbol. This sign, you can see the sign, this sign is the most common sign signifying the 10th house or the 10th month Capricorn in the field of astrology, meaning goat. The other common symbol being which is sign of the ibex or the tail of dolphin or mermaid. In addition to this, it refers to the concept of deepness and altitude as well, and the time of its appearance is with the entry of the sun or the sign in this house around December to January. Coinciding with the month of day in Iranian months, and this cycle is based on an everlasting and stable order. You can see the signs that I mentioned. Just like the ram, a male goat is the symbol of male sexual power, stamina, libido, and fertility. The concept of life and fertility in male goat is a significant reason for the selection of this iconic animal in Iranian ritual puppet show in the spring, the season dedicated to the life and awakening and voiding death and sleep. Goat in ancient texts in the sign of persistence, altitude, and resigning, and also the origin of fertility. In the modern age, influenced by these meaning, still in some parts of country, the importance still survives and the behavior of the farmers and those in animal husbandry with the goat, and especially the male goat, is a ceremonial behavior and very particular, going back to the functions of meaning and symbols fixed upon it, arising from it. The meaning and symbol of being leader and guide, which was mentioned in the introduction on Teke in this paper, can be found clearly in other regions as well. In Sangsar, a region of the Iran, the lead goat is called Pachang. This male goat remains in the flock with the name Old Goat, Pireboz, when it reaches 7 years of age and is neither sacrificed nor sold. With the New Year and its ceremonies, with the people's preparation for sowing and farming, the renewal of private and even social relations, the thought of growth anew of nature and its being made sacred through the customs which are traditional during the days of the New Year and all these bring about the conditions for the performance of the ritual performance of the whirling teke to be used to mean the first step during the event of a great evaluation. Between the last 2 Wednesdays of each year, which are called Kül Çarşamba, Ash Wednesday, and Gül Çarşamba, Flower Wednesday, the people in different parts of the West Azerbaijan look forward to seeing Teke and Tekeci. According to official tradition of Azerbaijan territory, a celebration was held in every week of Svand to welcome spring. People started celebrating the first Wednesday in Svand known as Yalançı Çarşamba, False Wednesday, and continued to the second one called Haberçı Çarşamba, Tipster Wednesday, then the third one, Çul Çarşamba, Ash Wednesday, and the last one, Gül Çarşamba, Flower Wednesday. According to the belief of people of this land, number 4 is the root and stem of eternal nature. Due to their strong conviction to the 4 elements of water, wind, soil, and fire. The first Wednesday is attributed to the wind, the second to soil, the third to fire, and the fourth Wednesday was attributed to water. The semiotic of the number 4 also provides more accurate during information about this ancient ritual because the various stages of studying whirling the teke we will face with this number over and over. For instance, in a scene that the teke appears and dances in 4 directions, and finally the appearance of Tekeci and his teke between 2 mentioned 2 Wednesday. The teke is a wooden puppet. A goat design is painted on a thick piece of wood, and then they cut around it or work the wood with tools. Hands and feet are cut separately and then nailed or attached otherwise onto the body. The hands and feet are given mobility through the joints so the teke can perform a beautiful dance and whirl. A circular or square board is necessary for the teke puppeteer to make it enact its ceremonial performance, as well as a stick with which to make the teke puppet dance. The semiotic of the circle or square-shaped scenes on which teke show is performed embraces signs of time and location in the beliefs of the people from the most ancient times until today. The creation of universe originated from the square, and consequently the whole civilization is assumed to being from a square, while the tents of the nomadic are circular shaped. Rhythm of the life of the world, the rhythms of human life, and lunar months all are based on number 4, but the 4 seasons movement is shown in the form of a circle, a crusade with 2 perpendicular crosses make a real square in the circle of seasons. A square is not and unlike eternity, it is shown with a circle because after the calendar of a year, the circle with measures out time and then eternity, and finally appoints infinity. Therefore, the Teke puppet is made of 3 separate parts. Zohre can show these 3 parts.
Oh, okay.
Yes. A wooden puppet in the shape of goat. You can see the shape of the different shapes of the goat. A circular or square sheet. A circular or square sheet of wood with a hole in the middle. And a wooden rod for manipulating the puppet. After my speech, my colleague will show you a live performance of the Teke ritual. And in the pictures, you can see the goat figure without the decoration, the square space, and its movement in directions. Ornamentation of the Teke. Use of symbolic signs in decorating this ceremonial puppet reflects the beliefs derived from customs common in Azerbaijan. The Teke is usually decorated with velvet or other pieces of cloth with ribbons with joyful colors, especially red. In addition to the warmth and happiness, in the color red, it is one of the favorite colors of the people of Azerbaijan. As in ancient times and sometimes at present, the wedding dress of Azeri brides is red. Symbolic use of mirror on the body of the Teke puppet is a sign of its relation to ancient beliefs. The word for mirror, ayene, comes from Advanak, which means the shape and image of one of the powers making up human being. Based on Iranian myths, it was on the first day of Nowruz that humans were formed out of the mixture of powers, including light, from the world of meaning. And the mirror is therefore one of the major symbols of Nowruz. The mirror is symbol of light and brightness and can be found of the Nowruz tablecloths as well as on the table decoration for wedding. And in the pictures you can see the velvets, ribbons, and the red color on the Teke puppet and the mirrors on the body. Method of the whirling dance of the Teke. In the order to make the Teke dance, the Teke puppeteer holds the wooden board with one hand, with the other the stick which is used to move the puppet is run through the center of the board and attached to the body of the puppet, and this is used to whirl the Teke while singing. In harmony with the singing, the Teke dances and whirls with its 4 feet, moving forwards and backwards, and sometimes stopping with all 4s on the board, looking like a sitting goat. The puppeteer also moves the Teke up and down of the board using his hand and fingers to help the puppet move. So using the 3 movements possible for puppet, sitting and standing and whirling, a beautiful ceremonial dance is created. The movements of the puppeteer also conform to and harmonize with the totality of movements of the puppet, creating and kind of dance with simple movements. The audience participates in the movements of the Teke and the Teke puppeteer, so that puppet and audience become interwoven with each other. The puppet whirls, the puppeteer is in movement, circling and performing, and the audience stands and moves around, giving the puppeteer gifts and money, moving in a large circle around the performance. The tekeciz with their teke. And finally, this ceremonial puppet performance is reminiscent of the ancient ceremonies in which the person who was shaman or the head or elder of tribe called the people to gather around them and perform devotional movements in continuity with time and space, in unity with the tribe, in order to prepare or purify in a ceremony. The time of the entrance of the Teke puppeteers to the villages is synchronous with the meaningful passage between two seasons, which he announces in a loud singing voice as if only he knows that spring is coming. With the entry of the puppeteers and upon hearing their voices, the people and especially children gather joyfully around at the end gifts are distributed and the puppeteers put these in their bags and say goodbye until the next spring and return home. Now spring has come. Therefore, what is meaningful in the performance of the Teke is a gathering of natural, social, and life elements, each in an unbroken integral ceremonial relation to each other. The ceremonial Teke performance, in its historical process and social life, is manifestation of the poetic thoughts of Azeri-speaking Iranian people. The combination of movements and sounds of the performance during the most ephemeral moments of the year when nature is in change adds to the Teke performance. The performance of the Teke translates into hope and wishing for the future in the minds of the society. The singing of the songs and the stories told through them make up the language of the performance, pervasively convincing us that its origin happened gradually out of the creativity of the people in a process which was not in the least short. And I would like to show, thank you for your attention. I would like to show some films and then my colleague will show the live performance. This is a very old type of the Teke ceremony in Azerbaijan.
Gandacam, ah, tatacam, boynunda var, noktatacam, bu teke o. oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Bu teke oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Yığa kendin düğüsün Mahmud'unun toyun eler. Bu teke ahta teke, boynunda var nokta teke. Bu teke oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Bu teke oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Yığa kendin düğüsün Mahmud'unun toyun eler. Bu teke ahta teke, boynunda var nokta teke. Bu teke ahta teke, boynunda var nokta teke. Düğlerimiz bizde olup belke görüp şahta teke. Bu teke yarış teke, gerdeni var karış teke. Geçinen süsmüş gümüş, kerpişinen barış teke. Ellerin ağrımasın. Sağ ol. Atan rahmetten am. Tekem tekem, ah tekem. Bu teke oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Bu teke oyun eler, kurdunan koyun eler. Güvercen düğüsü Mahmud'unun koyun eler. Bu teke hasta teke, boynunda var nokta teke. Bayın artık benim anam. Bu teke hasta teke, boynunda var nokta teke. 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 Tüylerimiz biz olup belke görüp şahta teke. Tüylerimiz biz olup belke görüp şahta teke. Ellerin ağrımasın ay benim anam. Tekemi yaradan Allah, tükünü daradan Allah. Herkes teke böyleydi, sakla onu, daradan Allah.
And this is a contemporary performance of the Teke.
Amiren mu'minin taxta çıxanda, Yazidin boynuna nokta koyanda, şirken şerbet su yerine akacak. Sizin mutladı bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin mutladı bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin mutladı bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Cenab-ı Cebrail name getirdi, getireceğim peygambere yetirdi. Mübarek kolların göve götürdü, sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek. Ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek. Ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek. Ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Yaşınlara yaşınlar, yaşınlara yaşınlar, duvardan boylaşınlar. Bu ayyanın kızları, bu ayyanın kızları, erse savaşırlar. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz maşallah. Bu tekemin kendi var, kendi var keseyi var. Her kapıda oynasa, her kapıda oynasa, günlerdeki endi var. Sizin bu taze bayramınız mübarek, ayuz ilüz günüz eftez mübarek. Sizin bu mübarek. Ayuziniz gününüz aftınız mübarek. Bizim muttazam bayramımız mübarek. Ayuziniz gününüz aftınız mübarek. Hoş آمد bahar آمد bahar آمد خوش آمد sizin mutlaka bayramınız mübarek ayuziniz yeni zaftız mübarek sizin mutlaka bayramınız mübarek ayuziniz yeni zaftız mübarek sizin mutlaka bayramınız mübarek ayuziniz yeni zaftız mübarek zaftız mübarek sizin mutlaka bayramınız mübarek ayuziniz
Zohre Behruziniya will show the performance for you, singing and dancing with goats.
Takam, takam, akta takam. Takam, takam, akta takam. Uyunda var nokta takam. Uyunda var nokta takam. Takam, takam, oyunela. Takam, takam, oyunela. Orduna oyun.
پایینم برو.
Orduna oyunela. Takam kesti khanliqa. Takam kesti khanliqa. Bozgoysi yaman liqa. Bozgoysi yaman liqa. Takamni oldurdular. Takamni oldurdular. Hattila saman liqa. Hattila saman liqa. Takam takam attama. Takam takam attama. Olqi çubi attama. Olqi çubi attama. Qafaqda bayram dali. Qafaqda bayram.
والا بچرخون.
Olqi çubi attama. Olqi çubi attama. Oylu sivi sojoru tasuz mübarek. Sizin bu bayramınız mübarek. Sizin bu bayramınız